but I basically talked with him about just some of the concerns from 2015, and pretty much here's what you do. The reason why I'm using the discussion with Tom as what plan is because Tom's my mentor, and to be honest with you, I don't quite know what direction I'd like to get into, or I'd like to get into. Maybe other people don't, but I'd like to go and grow and be a multi-billion-dollar organization. And Tom actually has created a company from absolutely fucking nothing to be valuated at $370 million. So if that's a person that has done something like that in the direction that I'd like to go in, I'm going to listen to the person. And that's just what my plan is right there. So I think that basically the next step, Jonathan, and correct me, and anybody else can add to this, it's just what my feeling is, but get everybody's plan or else we're blocked.
I mean, I'm totally down with that. I sent my stuff to Cage because I thought we were doing that again, but I'm happy to repost in the founders room. But I mean, I'll give you a little preview into that before I do. I love that idea of turning this into a multi-million-dollar company. I don't have a vision for it. I don't know how we're gonna do it. I told Cage, but I'm gonna post this thing in there too. I've had a generally really good experience with SneakyHead.
Hello?
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 I'm not hearing it. I'm not hearing anything. Is anybody hearing anything? I hear Chris.
Yeah, I think everybody dropped out.
He's just like, yeah, I think he just dropped out. Borzu.
Yeah. So we got four people on the call. What I'd like, actually, if it's at all possible, like I mentioned, my plan is an audio, and it's kind of in tandem working with Tom. To be straight up, I'd like to have everybody just take. It's about 10 or 12 minutes or something like that. If we can, since we're all huddled here around this bonfire, if we can get off the call for 15 minutes, listen to that audio snippet from Tom. I think it's something that will make or break us. And it's straight up, guys. Like, if you're getting it's advice from somebody who's, like I said, is created a $375 million company from his fucking living room, and he's like, look, here, if you don't do this, if you do this, you're going to be in the same situation I am. If you don't do this, you're going to fail.
Hold on. All right, so let's back up here, because everybody's time is very valuable, right? So, Snugs, why don't you just tell us what he said?
I'd rather not, Chris.
But you're gonna have to, my friend, because we got to speed this up, brother. We can't get off the call to listen to another call to dial back into a call. That don't make sense, man.
Well, I mean, Chris, do you trust me just a little bit?
No, man. In this kind of situation, absolutely not. Because what you're asking me to do is get off this call, to listen to another call, to interpret what I think he said, and then call back in and then discuss it. Just tell me what he said. We gotta cut down some of the blocks. Just tell me what he said.
Wait, hold up. How about this? How about I play what he said and tell me if you guys hear it. All right.
How about that, Chris? I will sit on this phone and shut the hell up as long as everybody's willing to listen to the same thing.
I'm gonna turn off my microphone. Well, no, I'm not gonna turn off my microphone. But how about everybody else turn off the microphones? I'm gonna start the recording in about 2 minutes, and we just all listen, okay?
And how long is this call? I mean,
12 minutes. 12 minutes.
How long?
12 minutes.
Oh my God, Jesus!
It's 5:12 right now. It'll be done at 5:24. We are on the call on average past an hour.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, I'm gonna start it off in 20.
Well, I just want to be clear here, Chris. You don't have to listen to it. Okay, and if no one on the call wants to listen to it, I can listen. I'll be the last person here listening to it by myself if I need to. But if nobody wants to listen to it, that's totally cool. Every single person is free to do whatever they like to.
I mean, I'd rather you just tell me. You understand? Like you know what I'm saying? Like basically, like this doesn't make any sense to me. This is like me telling somebody, listen, Steve Jobs is one of the most gifted and talented people in the world. I read a book on him. He gives great information. And they're like, well, what did he say in the book? And I'm like, well, you just got to read the book. Well, that doesn't make sense.
Chris, every second of what the man said is valuable. So I can go through and I can convert it all over to text if you like to. But right now, this is, I mean, honestly speaking, man, it's just pushback right now. And he addresses this. Exactly what's happening right here, right now is addressed.
All right. So here's what I'm going to tell you. I'll listen to it. But the risk you run is you're building this up to have value, and if it has zero value to me, we're going to be in trouble.
Okay, that's cool. What if I were to promise you it'll have value to you?
But you can't promise me that because you don't know how it's going to fall out.
But you know what? That's a bet I'm willing to take, Chris Brown.
All right.
All right, guys. Let me just start it off, okay? It's 8:14 now. I'll start it off at 8:15. The recording is 8 minutes and like 22 seconds totality. So all right, I'm gonna start it off.
Size hole. That's SneakyHead. And this is the hole that is harmonious and happy. And anybody that does not fit through that hole must go. Must go. And some people will say, well, you're just looking for yes men. No, what we're looking for is a unified team that can discuss things rationally and be happy and working with the rest of the team. It doesn't mean they're wrong. It means they don't fit the team. Okay, and that's enough. Like, companies get incredible leverage when people enjoy working together. They're incredibly productive and hardworking. It becomes a game, it's fun, and you play to fucking win. Okay? When the organization is discordant, it will die. It will absolutely die.
So would it be like the first step is to make sure that communication is quick, and a lot of times.
So some people, here's the thing. Yes, do everything as well as you can. Yes, admit when something's weak and improve it as quickly as possible. No belly aching allowed.
What do you mean by belly aching?
Just that. If somebody doesn't like the communication, they ought to start doing it better. Okay? Like, that's it. You need people who take fucking action and who are there to make things better. You don't need critics. The entire rest of the fucking world is full of critics. Okay? Everybody you're trying to sell shit to is a critic. Like, you can't be criticizing yourself internally. Like, it just takes all the fucking joy out of the whole thing.
So what do you do in situations where, we have a group of people where it's perceived that, hey, we have some grandiose ideas, and, you look at the end of the year and say, okay, well, were all ideas completed? Like, no, some of them weren't even executed on. However, organically, a bunch of things did start happening that, showed value, and people started to make money and things like that. Like Noel sitting right in his car as well. Now, how do you look back on it as a group and say, well, we didn't really do what we said we were going to do?
You don't. I mean, the best way to avoid that is to not say what you're going to fucking do. What you have to do is you have to have a vision that you're aiming for, and you're racing the rest of the world to see that vision complete. But you can't be depressed because you did awesome, but just not awesome enough. Like, you take every fucking win you can get and be happy about it, right? And you learn every lesson you can and improve. But Nothing's perfect. You're gonna make mistakes. It's all in a day's work. But if you're enjoying it, you know, it's the difference between laughing it off and making it up tomorrow, or going home and saying, "Fuck, you know, maybe this isn't gonna work out," and blah blah blah, and maybe I should start looking for a job. Blah, blah. Like, it's just, it's horrible. And one person that's like that turns everybody into people like that. You just can't allow it. Cannot allow it. So, the best technique I've ever seen for dealing with it, and it universally, okay, it never solves the problem, like, in that it resolves the relationship problem, but it forces the naysayer out of the company. Okay? Whenever they bring up something and they're bitching about something, you make it their job to fix it. You are absolutely right. I would like you to fix that. Okay? And they won't. They don't know how. They're just good at complaining. Okay? And eventually, it will be very obvious that they don't know how to fix anything, and they leave in shame. People, but there is no other solution to this problem that ever works out well. I just cannot tell you how important it is.
How important it is what?
To weed out unhappy people. And it's not, it has nothing to do with them being right or wrong. It has everything about their pleasantness to be around and work with. And win with.
So, can would it be still fine to have people swear known as?
Yeah.
But it's closed.
Oh, okay. So then where are we going to go next to?
You guys should contact the...
Well, we can go to, where's Ricky's Hotel in them?
Oh, Second and, what's the Marriott on, no, it's Second and Folsom or something, right?
Yeah. So what we can do there is we can go over to Ricky's place and then walk go wherever we're going next, and then I don't know what Noel, you and Trish are doing, but if you...
we're staying up until we have to...
Oh, good Lord.
We are?
Nice. Nice. Look at her face. That's awesome.
Because of death, to weed out, if I get this correct, people that would not be a solution.
Yes, and anybody that makes you not want to work with them. Like, they can be the smartest person in the world, and if every time you have to talk to them, it's just like,
personality sucks. Or you don't enjoy the personality. They shouldn't love it.
Totally.
That's all I say.
But would it still be wise to have people that still give a contradictory or like everybody might be like not yes men, but all agree with like the high level idea?
No, it has to be like this. Let me explain how it just has to work. And everybody has to be on board with it. Like, we're not always right, but we're never confused. Like, we have a dialogue on the situation, a decision is made, we try it, and learn together. And nobody says, "I told you so."
Well, didn't we have that conversation about dialogue?
But you know, the only way to get rid of "I told you so" is to work with people who say, "Shit, guys, you were right. I was wrong. Let's fix it."
Or, oh shit.
Like I made this recommendation. I strongly argued it. You guys argued against it. We tried it. You're right. Reverse. Right? Lesson learned.
Got it.
Right? You have to have people who look forward, not backward.
How much do you acknowledge where things did not go properly? I don't know, whatever. How much do you acknowledge that?
Everybody knows. Everybody knows you don't need a summary of failure. You gotta point out what's going good.
Everybody knows you don't need a summary of failure. Because one of the things I thought was pretty cool is I was like, hey guys, well, let's acknowledge the fact that, you know, we were able to successfully secure over 100 pairs of kicks for people over the past year. Like, who would have thought? You know,
Totally.
and we got a few stacks sitting out right here. Excuse me. Yep. And we got a few stacks here in the bank, so that's pretty fucking cool, you know?
No, but they're staying here. We'll be able to get hold of them. Let's pop out.
Oh, God.
All right, sober.
Is that done?
Yep.
Can I go first?
No, wait a minute. Hold on. Before you give your commentary, we got to give Snugs the opportunity to Snugs, from me, and Borzu, you could jump in right after. Tell me what you think the value in that was.
I'm just gonna say real quickly. I think you guys are gonna be surprised by what I'm gonna say, but go ahead. Cage isn't, but I think you guys are. But go ahead.
Mr. Snugs, that's for you.
Pardon?
Are you not listening, man?
What do I think the value in that was?
Yes.
The value in it is, let's see here. Chris, Chris, is your father still alive?
Yes.
Right. So it's weird. I don't recall. I probably haven't met your father, but mine is not. My dad's dead. So I'm always looking in my life for people who can sort of mentor me, especially from a male capacity. I got a great mom, great family, and all of that. But when it comes to like that male authoritative figure that can say, look, like, if you don't do something right, you're not going to just mess something up for yourself. You're going to mess it up for the people around you. So Tom he's my mentor. He's been my mentor. He's a very successful business person, but he also is, there's people in my life that I almost look at like as a father figure and such. And the value that I got out of it, because you asked me a personal question, is to have that. There's only a handful of moments in my life where I've had someone pull me by the ears, and a bunch of times before I was in high school, it was my dad doing it. Afterwards, there's positive male figures that have been doing it in my life. And there's probably been a handful of times since high school, since my dad died, that somebody actually gave me that type of influence to move to the next step in my life. That's what that call meant to me. And I appreciate you for taking 15 minutes out of your life to even listen to that.
Fair enough. So, Borzu, the floor is yours, my friend.
So I have a couple things to say that are kind of going to go all over the place, and if you guys don't mind, I'll take us into kind of like the talk of the plan, right? So I don't disagree with anything I just heard. I do think most of that is important. I obviously stress a little more on acknowledging mistakes that he doesn't do, but I do agree that our biggest problem, and this is a little bit of a phrasing thing, is that we're not in alignment, right? And as much as he says, like, you got to have the vision and go for it, like, I don't believe we have a vision at all, but we certainly don't have a cohesive vision, okay? And Cage can attest to this, because I sent it to him a couple days ago, and he told me to post it in Founders, but I figured we'd wait until the call. But I'm, like, really happy with everyone I've met here, and I'm happy to make the connections, and I've gotten some kicks out of it, and I've gotten some fucking good deals on computer shit out of it. And if we don't find a vision that we're all in alignment in, like, I'm okay just staying in the channel and not being like a founder or part of SneakyHead. You know what I mean? I don't like being the fucking bad guy that's jumping down everyone's throats either. And I did send this to Cage, like, even before we played this. You know what I mean? If we don't have a plan, I don't have a vision for what SneakyHead is going to become anymore. I think that what we did, what we didn't do, more accurately, I thought that was a good plan. I don't see how this will become a multi-million-dollar business, which doesn't mean there's not an amazing way to do it. I just don't know what it is. If you guys like come up with something, I'm good at things. I'm happy to be a part of it. If we can get an alignment, right? If we're not, like, Snugs, no one's gonna have to like kick me out. You know what I mean? Like, if we don't have something that we'll still be fucking, I'll always love you. Like, we'll still be tight. I may even come to a fucking SneakyHead quarterly. You know what I mean? But, like, I've told you from day one, this is like kind of your show, and you can do what you want with it, you know. And like I don't have the fucking bandwidth, or frankly, I got enough stress eating years off the back of my life. You know what I mean? To try to like drag this in a direction that like is not the natural direction that it's gonna go in. You know, if you guys have a awesome vision, plan, whatever, and when I hear it and like I want to be a part of it, like we'll have that conversation. You know what I mean? And nothing would make me happier than that, by the way. But I just don't see it, and like I'm tired of, you know, like hearing the same vision, not having a plan, not having a direction. You know what I mean? And I don't want to be the one fucking whatever trying to crack a whip on this motherfucker. You know what I mean? So I think your guy's right. I think the problem is that we're not in alignment, and I believe all the way in alignment. And I think that we're not in alignment because we don't have a vision. Like he said, you gotta decide on things and do them. And we decided on a bunch of things. And the problem isn't that we tried it and it didn't work. The problem is that we didn't try it. You know, and that's the part that's like super frustrating to me. We didn't fail at anything. We just didn't attempt. You know, and so. I don't know. Those are the feelings I'm having right now.
Okay. Who else is on the call anyway? Because I couldn't get on. My Hangouts got deleted from my phone.
Just us four. Me, Snugs, and Cage.
Oh, that's it? Okay. Jonathan, you got anything to add before I jump in here?
No, you go ahead.
All right. So before I kind of give my comments, I'm going to give you guys a quick little story, right? So you guys know that I'm in banking. It's kind of what I do. A lot of it is somewhat mechanical, right? But I'm also a guy who likes sneakers, so I kind of get both sides of it. So we have this bullshit meeting during the day, and it's called ECO, right? And what an ECO partnership basically is it's different lines of business that all kind of get together. So once a month, we sit in a room and we talk. So, you know, the mortgage guy's there, the fucking investment guy's there, the personal guy's there, business banking is there, retail branch is there. Everybody's in a fucking room. And everybody kind of goes around the room and we talk about, you know, performance for the month, what you do, what could I have done better, yada, yada, yada. And then we all leverage each other. You know, what could I do to help? Well, I could do this, and well, I could be doing that. And it's an eco. That's kind of what the idea is. The idea is you bring a bunch of people to a table. Everybody starts talking. We all have one mission, but we're in different silos, so how can we help each other, right? So being part of management, I get to go, like I have my own level of eco, and then we have an eco that's underneath us. And the eco that's underneath us is the people that report to us. They're in those meetings, right? So I watch my people while they're in this meeting talking about whatever, right? So one of the meetings that I go to, well, not one of them, because I have to go to a lot of these fucking things. There's always these guys from mortgage, and they're always in the room, and they're always talking about mortgage, right? So I need everybody to find mortgages, and everybody in the room wants to be a good partner, so nobody talks. Everybody writes down on paper and nods their head. Yeah, that's a great fucking idea. Great idea. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Tom, you're the man. Next one, and then the next month comes, and nobody has shit for Tom. So Tom says again, I really need help with mortgage. And I'm like, okay. So after 3 or 4 of these fucking things, I finally jump out. And I say, well, Tom, I don't understand. Every fucking meeting you come, and every meeting you ask for business or you ask for help, right? How'd you do last month? Well, I didn't get anything. Okay, so what was your plan to get it? Well, I come to ECO and I kind of ask the partners, and some of them help and some of them don't. Okay, well, the ones that don't help, what are you doing about it? Well, I'm not really doing anything. And I said to him, and like I said it in our management ECO, and then eventually I said it in the lower one. The problem with your vision is this, okay? You're sitting in a room and you're asking people for help, but you're not giving them any kind of fucking direction as to how to help, right? I don't sell fucking mortgages. It's not what I do. I do business banking. So when you come to me and you say, I need help with mortgage, I'm going to be a good partner and I'm going to write the shit down and I'm going to fucking nod my head. But when I walk out of the room, I don't really give a fuck about you or your vision. And you want to know why? Because it doesn't affect me. Do you understand? I have my own shit to worry about. Now, if you come to me and you say to me, hey, Chris, well, what do you do on a daily basis? Well, I talk to business clients all the time. Perfect. Can you do me a favor? When you're talking to your business clients, can you ask them if they have a residential mortgage? And if they say no, make a referral. You know what? I can help you with that. All right? You and I just sat down together. You just gave me a vision, and then you gave me a plan on how to help you with your vision. If you just tell me a fucking idea and you don't tell me how to help you get to that idea, you know what happens when I walk out of the room? Nothing. Because I don't really give a fuck. Because I'm not going to go out of my way to try to help you. Now, there's shit that I do every fucking day that I can incorporate what you need into what I do to help you. But you got to be the one to kind of lay that out for me. And when I said that to them, and I said this to all the B-level, the regular eco, they all looked at me. And I'm like, listen, this ain't fucking rocket science, right? And I'm like, at the end of the day, people just need to learn how to be honest with each other. And that's half the fucking problem. Because when we're in these meetings, everybody bullshits each other and everybody kisses each other's ass, except for the one fucking guy who is just angry. Now, there's a difference between being argumentative and having constructive things to say. And generally, when you're in a meeting and somebody's arguing, they're just arguing because they like to fucking argue, right? So if you're going to argue or you're going to bring up a point, make sure you have an answer to that point. So if I don't like a meeting, I don't like something in the room, it's okay to not like it. But what you need to do is have an answer or a solution to it. Don't just be bitching just to be bitching. So everybody just looks at me like, wow, that's fucking great. You know what? We're going to start doing that. So they all start talking to each other, and they're all trying to incorporate different things and whatever. Long story short is this. So back to Snugs and back to this wonderful 12-minute video thing that I just heard. I like the fact that you find value in it because that's what you need, right? You need something to motivate you, and everybody needs that. So words of wisdom can come from anywhere. It can come from watching a fucking movie. Somebody kind of, gives you a shoulder to cry on. The problem that I have here is everything he said. All right, who's moving a bunch of shit in the background? Mute your phone, because that's just bad enough.
That was me. Sorry, I'll
Is that you? Mute that shit. Here's the problem with that. At the end of the day, what he said is painfully fucking obvious. He's Tom. I didn't have a good month. Nobody gave me results. No shit, nobody gave you fucking results. I don't need somebody to tell me that the problem that we have here, well, actually, no, I'm sorry. Not the problem that we have here, that if everybody's in the room just bitching and complaining, we're not going to get anywhere. That you had to get rid of the cancers. All of us are in business here. We should all fucking already know this. What we are trying to do and what we've been doing for the past 2 weeks or 3 weeks, to Borzu's point, is we're trying to fucking get a vision for the company. We lack cohesion. All of that infighting bullshit that he talked about, that's not our fucking problem. Our problem is we don't have a fucking plan. And Snugs, the problem that I have with, well, I'm going to say specifically you, because I think we're at that point now, is that you're very much trying to defend what we've accomplished and what I've been trying to say for the past couple of weeks and what I'm trying to reset. And Borzu's kind of saying it, but he's saying it, and you're for whatever reason, you and Borzu, I don't know what the fuck you guys got going on, but there's a very defensive thing happening between the two of you. Because me and him are kind of saying it in the same way, but when he says it, you get very defensive with him. And I don't know why. That shit is between the two of you. But what I would say is this. You spent a lot of time trying to defend what we've accomplished in the past year. And what me and him are trying to say is that the string is running out because where we are going is not really where we started. And while, yes, we've accomplished a lot this year, we don't really have a plan for where we're going in the next 12 months. So if somebody were to ask me, or somebody were to ask somebody on this call right now, where the fuck do we see ourselves in 12 months? There's not one fucking person on this call that can give me that at all. And it's not any of our fault. It's just that we don't really have a vision. We don't really have a plan. Now, yes, you have a dev shop, and your dev team is doing a bunch, and yeah, that shit is great, and we're working with this company, and da-da-da-da. But none of that shit is SneakyHead. None of it. Oh, it's a fucking dev company. It's a dev company that does shit for sneakers. What I've been trying to do, and what I've been trying to lay out, again, for the past fucking 2 weeks, is laying out a vision. Right? Now, back to Borzu. What I would say is this. You're absolutely right, right? I don't know direction-wise where we're going. I don't know where I can kind of help in this. So in terms of us making a plan, taking ownership, the one thing that we lack within this company, our cohesiveness, the reason why we are not cohesive is because we do not have leadership. Okay, we don't have structure. That's why we don't have it. There's no one person sitting in the middle pulling everything back together because you need that. We don't have that, right? So where that comes in is that what I wanted from all of us is that everybody take on a task. So if this is what you want for the business and this is what you want our business to be, what are you going to own? What piece of this are you going to own? So if your piece is going to be multimedia, I'm going to own the media piece. The media piece is mine. I don't give a fuck. Whatever comes through media, whether it's social media, whatever, I'm going to own that shit. All right? If it was me and one of the things that I submitted, my shit is integration, because that's kind of what I do well, is bringing people together. So anytime we're looking to integrate different ideas into the business, whether that's, social media, whatever it is, connecting with whatever, that's a piece that I want to own. Now, I don't know what that looks like, and that would be something that I would present to you guys and say, okay, here's what I want to do. I want to do this. I'll present it to you guys, and if you guys agree with it, then that's what I run with. Right now, we're all in a fucking place where everybody's too busy concerned with what other fucking people are doing. And you got to get away from that shit. Again, it's like banking. I don't give a fuck what the investment guys do. I don't need to know their business. I just need to know mine. You understand? So once we all take a position and once we all decide, this is what I want to do, the website is mine. Perfect. Then you know what? Get the fuck out of the consulting about sneakers. Get the fuck out of the app. Get the fuck out of what we're doing on fucking Twitter, because that's not your fucking business. If you want to do the website, then do the fucking website, okay? And when the website comes together and it fucking sucks, I'm going to scream at you. And if I'm the guy in charge of fucking Twitter, when Twitter sucks, you can scream at me. But don't worry about what the fuck I'm doing. Just worry about what the fuck you're doing, and eventually we'll all come together, and every little piece of what everybody's doing will be fucking fantastic. But again, we don't have a fucking plan or vision at all, because we don't have a leader in the middle. And that's the reason why I specifically asked you, Snugs, what do you see that call that you put, the value? Because, again, you're our fucking leader here. You are the CEO. You're the guy. This is your shit. I could jump out of this today, tomorrow. Borzu could jump out of this today, tomorrow. Jonathan, Mario, all the guys. The only man left standing is you. You're the fucking guy. But you're the guy that doesn't want to take ownership of this shit. Like, you want to be the guy, but not really. Like, I want to kind of do it, but I kind of don't really don't. And it's like, yo, listen, man. It's time to eat the fucking shit to get off the pot. All right? You either need to fucking grab the bull by the horns and just say, this is what the fuck we're going to do. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. Or you can let the founders choose it for themselves, which is where I was going with it. Or you just run and do your own fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just kind of where the fuck we're at. All right? So once again, to Borzu's point, I don't think we've really failed at anything. And to your point, congratulations, Snugs. You've done a lot in 12 months. I don't know if that's what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you that. Congratulations. You've done a lot. Now move on. Okay? Move on, and let's go to the next phase of this. The two of you need to fucking get past whatever the fuck it is between the two of you and figure it the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to stay in the organization. Again, whenever he says anything, you take it very defensively. I don't know why the fuck that is, but it is what it is. Time to move on, dude. Where the fuck are we going? All right? I mean, that's it. That's all I got.
There's a few things I want to address there. The one word that I want to address are assumptions. There's this assumption. It's almost like a virus, and when it spreads on you, it then winds up spreading to other people. One of the assumptions that I don't want to take ownership, at least, and this is in my head. Let's just be clear about this. It does not mean that that's what people infer from what I'm trying to imply. That I believe that there's problems that we can solve. There's a lot of areas in the problem that I'm not good at or can contribute a ton into, but what I can is any development or technology that needs to be developed around it. That's the thing that I said I staked, as far as what I'm capable of. I've actually said that a multitude of times. But then, however, if the perception then is that I don't want to take on the ownership of things that are going on, then that makes me a little bit confused, because I'm just attempting to take on what I'm actually good at. That's one assumption. Another assumption is that, pardon me. Sorry,
yeah, but dude, listen. All right, well, hold on. Let me address that really quick before you move on. It's like playing sports, right? If you're gonna be a fucking leader, you're Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is not the greatest fucking rebounder in the world, but he knows how to do it. You understand? So from a leadership fucking standpoint, if we suck at fucking rebounding, nobody expects Michael Jordan to become a center. But Michael Jordan is going to try to help out where he can, or he's going to grab the power forward in the center and say, listen, you need to get your ass down to that block because we're getting our ass kicked every fucking night because every fucking night the other team beats us in rebounding. So you need to figure it out. That's what a leader does. You understand? So it's not, you can't just defer back to what you like to do. Well, fuck it. You know what? I like shooting threes, so let me take a step back and just say, fuck it. As long as I keep hitting my threes and I keep fucking dunking, we should win. No, you're not going to fucking win because the stats are telling you we're getting our asses handed to us every fucking night because we don't rebound. You understand? So you can't just defer back to what you like to do. As a leader, you need to jump down and say, listen, your job is to fucking rebound. So either I'm going to help you figure out how to fucking do it, or I'm getting rid of your ass and I'm going to bring somebody in here who can rebound. Don't just say, oh, well, fuck it, I'm good at this, so let me just try to shoot the lights out every night. I don't know what the fuck that means. You know what I'm saying? We suck at rebounding. Let's figure that out. If that makes any sense. I mean, you got that?
Well, and also let's kind of in the interest of, you know, our whole move forward deal, right? Let's say that doesn't really matter. Snugs has said a bunch of times he wants to be CTO. We don't have any technology that we are trying to develop right now. Is that correct? For SneakyHead specifically.
Well, that's not true. The technology that we've been developing and what it's capable of thus far is providing information about products across different sites. Who's actually been utilizing that, and that's where sneaker shops comes in.
So do we have a plan? I mean, you're saying you want to turn this into like a 9-figure business, right? Do we have some kind of plan to leverage this information into a 9-figure business? Is that specifically relevant to SneakyHead?
Absolutely, and that has a lot to do with again with assumptions, and as I'll continue.
It wasn't an assumption. I asked you. I didn't assume anything. I just asked you a question.
Whoa. Well, here's the thing, right? It was stated, hey, what's on your mind now? Chris was done, and I had a few points that I wanted to make, and the next thing that happened was Chris saying that, hey, I want to cut you off real quick before you continue. I was
sorry.
talking
Go
about
on.
assumptions.
Continue.
So in assumptions again, so one of the statements, I don't know who wrote it. Who was the person that wrote the statement of we don't have an accountant or a CPA because they can at least start saying like what things are being spent on and such, and that's something that we don't have. That was last week. Who stated that?
I didn't specifically say that we don't have it. I just said that should be part of the plan, but I did not specifically say that we don't have one.
Now there you have it right there. You wanted to talk about rectification, Chris. Warzu, there it is right there. I totally agree. Where there's an assumption is actually we've been, Jonathan, if you can sort of make an attestment of the interactions we've had with Ricky over the past Russia to us.
I mean, I don't see what the point of that
Jonathan?
is.
Well, you know, it's just like a joke, right? If you only hear the first part of it, then you don't laugh because Jonathan?
Snugs, your connection is a little choppy too, but
yeah. All right, Snugs, listen to me, man. You did a great job, dude. I give you all the credit in the world. I give it to you. Again, just like I said before, you're spending too much time trying to defend what you've accomplished. Dude, you did a great job.
Chris, I'm trying to state with the plan. For instance, Jonathan, like, where are you, dude? Well, so anywho, we have a CPA. Her name's Ricky Crusher. She's been dealing with us for the past few months. She's out here in San Francisco. I sat and I talked with her for an entire half a day. She's like, hey, look, I'll show you how to get direction and vision. Just show me all of the stuff you guys are spending money on, and I'll keep showing you how if you keep doing this, you're just going to keep spending cash until you get to nothing. That's a great asset to have because men lie, women lie, numbers do not. That's a resource that we've actually paid. So, you know, it makes me ask a question of, well, how is it that the rest of the team assumes that certain things aren't in place, but they've been being utilized over the past handful of months? Another place where I could possibly do a better job, Jonathan could do a better job as far as operations go and letting people know those things. as far as the plan goes, there was a statement that Chris made that nobody on this call has a plan for anything that can happen over the next year. I actually think that that's not true because technically we should all have one of those because that was what the request was from last week. Around the room and say everybody's plan because everyone should have one. Is get sweatshirts, collect money from equipment because Ricky said that's mandatory because there's money being moved around and that equipment was probably the largest money being moved around just to get everybody their computers and monitors. Quarterly meetup. Have empathy for the fact that there's other people who it's really, really important for them. Like there's many people who they just look forward to it. It just like they cannot wait for the next one. And then when they ask questions and say, well, I've never ever really met this person, aren't they a founder or this, that, and the third? And they're critically important because as Sakanya will even state, he gets the most out of it when he's like in front of someone or able to speak with someone. Like when we all linked up together for the first one with Chris at Empire, I'll never forget that. So that's something that we should all be accountable for and is a must. Like life happens. I get people have families. I get people have kids. I get people, there's only 24 hours in a day. But what is something that you can say, hey, you know, I'm going to do this and I'm going to sacrifice just for the people who are around me. And that's called all-in accountability, not just every now and again point. Bring up a solution and implement it. Everything you said, Chris, right there is perfect because then you actually have someone that can be accountable for something. Automated content delivery, possibly to social media, definitely to Slack. Channels beginning in Slack. Human, really quite simply, have a ton of information that they spit out. Nobody, it's just tons of information. Information is the way that you can start monetizing and making money because that's huge. There are companies out there that can straight make money off.
Snugs, your connection's really, really
shit,
bad.
Nike just stopped. There's a tweet. Oh shit, Nike just stopped. Restock. There's your tweet. And all the information that we've been getting ourselves internally, let it out. See if people think it's valuable, and then we can see if we can start charging them for something like that. We're capable to start doing that now because we've already been developing that technology. What it's going to do is automate stuff out of our lives. Things like, and it leaves people like Chris to just do what he does best and go on Kix requests and toss off information. Go on and look up general stuff on GRs. Why isn't that shit automated? That's just going to take hours out of our lives of something that a computer could technically do because there's nothing special about those things. There are special things about like bespoke things. I don't know, you know, those collaborations or whatever that you guys say are going to be hot in 2016. And that right there, I think, is a great starting point for us to even see if we can even provide value into the world. I think it's something that's a simple, small touchdown to do. Just 4 downs and out, 4 downs and out. There's a touchdown. I think it's something that's that simple, and we can actually assess a cadence on that. That's a plan. That's the first thing I thought of in my head. I tried to overthink it. I had a page and a half worth of things we could do, and I just scrapped that and just said, what's the meat of it that we can start on now? And that's my plan. That's my contribution to this week, too, as well. So that's what I mean about assumptions is that in my head, maybe you all can help me figure out how I'm thinking that something's going one way and it clearly is not because it, I know it seems like the things that people think are happening are actually happening, but they're just not exposed to the information. But I have empathy for that, but I don't have any sympathy because there's situations like quarterly meetups and things like that where we can get straight intimate with one another. Like, hey, let's drink a beer and let's just knock this fucking shit out right here. I think that's really just all I have as far as that goes. Does anybody have any questions, or is that confusing?
No, I understand. What about you guys?
Do you all what?
Slugs, you were in and out a lot. So
Yeah,
I
you're
mean,
in a lot too.
the closest I got out of that was that I'm not. If you want to make the quarterly meetup a big deal, I would say set that expectation beforehand, not after. But aside from that, it appears to me that you have some kind of plan to use information and put it out and see if people need it, but I don't really know what that is, how you're going to disseminate it, or what even information you're talking about, to be honest. But if you have that all written up somewhere, I'm happy to take a look at it, I guess.
As far as for quarterlies, Jonathan, that's a question you possibly can answer. What is Borzou sort of asking, or do you understand what he's asking for?
I mean, Snugs, did you write up your plan and give it to Cage, or no?
Yeah, I sent them a message right before the call along with Tom's message.
Okay, well, Cage, just if you want.
I just read off of what my plan was. It really was that simple.
I mean, I believe you. But maybe if I read it, it'll be better. But I don't. It doesn't sound. I don't know.
No, you can be honest, man. You can be honest.
I don't see a plan. I don't know what information you're talking. It's not specific. I don't know what information you're talking about. I don't know how you're going to disseminate it. I don't know who you're going to disseminate it to. I don't know what the delivery method is. Okay, you know what I mean? It could be a great idea. I just don't.
Again, let's be clear. Now I'm going to break it down into lowercase alphabet letters. We have information that is just straight data that machines use from all of these foot sites. It's all
what data?
Information about products, information about release dates, information about what's coming up next, what's hot, when the site changes. Oh shit, a product just popped up into their inventory. What is this product? Is it valuable to anybody? Has anybody actually even made a request for something like that for it? At minimum, put it out to the world and let people know, oh, hey, this shoe just restocked. Thank you very much.
And how are you going to put that out? Like on Twitter?
And who's going to disseminate that, or who's going to utilize it? Sneaker Shouts is already currently using that. So what that means is we have the ability to power affiliate marketing sites, which there are a bunch of them out there. Then that puts us in the space of something like a Vigilance, which is how, I mean, that's exactly how Ivan actually makes all his money. And technically speaking, something that if Ivan was able to push a direction of what direction SneakyHead should go into, hey, develop an API that just basically automates all of the stuff that I do on releases, shit, I'll fucking pay for that.
And how much is he going to pay for that?
That's a great question. He makes 6% off of. Hey, hey Chris, well you're laughing. How about let's get an answer? If Ivan makes 6% off of every retail shoe, how much in his pockets, or how much in Sneaker Shop's pockets would be valuable?
No, man. Dude, you didn't really listen to anything that I said last week, and you didn't listen to anything I said the week before that. All right, so here's my take on all this. In life, right, and in business, sometimes if you try to do too much, you're gonna find yourself half-assing all of it, right? Because at the end of the day, you're going to find that you're probably really, really, really good at one or two things, and you're probably good enough to be dangerous in a lot of different things, right? But in business, if you try to do a whole bunch of different shit, it's probably not going to work because you're not going to be that effective. Now, what Borzou is basically asking and what he's saying, because I hear him. He comes off kind of negative, but I hear him. You need that sometimes. You need that energy in a room sometimes. And Borzou, listen, it's not an attack against you.
But
sometimes fine. You need that. You need that guy in a room like, yeah, this fucking plan sucks. And just like I said, it's not necessarily being negative. Sometimes you got to tear a wall down to rebuild it stronger. I think, Borzou, the issue that I would have with you is that if you're going to, I don't want to say attack something. If you don't like something, you got to come up with a plan on how to make it better, not just question it.
Listen, two things. One, I in this scenario, I really wasn't trying to be negative. I'm really just trying to understand what the opportunity is. Two, I think at least today, I'm admitting I don't have a plan. You know what I mean?
Which is great.
And like I said, if there's like not a piece for me here, if there's not a fit, like I don't, like Snugs has said a couple times, if I walked away today, I'd have a couple grand. If I walk away, I don't expect to get anything. I don't feel entitled to anything. I don't feel like I've fucking provided a ton of indispensable value towards any kind of goal. You know what I mean?
Well, boys, like I'm gonna stop you right there and say that you're full of shit. And I'm saying you're full of shit as a brother. because
That sounds like an assumption, Rashawn.
hold on for a second. Can you get
Yeah,
wait?
go ahead.
Can you wait for the punchline?
All right.
Because what I'm feeling from a statement like that is I value your time more than you do. Now here's why. Every man that's on this call's time so fucking valuable to me. It's more valuable than my own time. I'd even say it. My mother would say I'm crazy for saying something like that. So for you to say, oh, you don't feel like you're entitled to, that's a great feeling. But the amount of just from fucking thinking about SneakyHead from day one, I said the only thing you really have to do, and maybe that wasn't true, is to come up with great ideas. You've done that over and over and over and over again. So that's why I was saying it's full of shit there, is because your time is so fucking valuable to me, even if you're thinking about something. But that tells me a lot about you, and you thinking, well, I just wanted to contribute to something that I thought was bigger than me, and it's really that simple, Snugs. And that makes me think you're a perfect person to be on the team as a founder, even more so than before.
All right. Well, let me get back to my original point, where I was kind of going with this, and the Borzu's he's alluding to it, but I'm gonna just fucking say it because it is what it is. Snugs, you're laying out your plan, and I got it. And again, for the most part, you're the leader here for all the shit that we've been doing, right? But you speak in hyperbole. Everything is pie in the sky. I wish, I should, I could. You're not speaking specifics. You're not saying specifically, this is what we are doing. Specifically, here's what we did. Specifically, this person created a software for Sneaker Shouts. He's doing it. He's using it in this manner. Here's what he's generating. Here's our percentage. Period. Here's what we did with the Hot or Not app. We are developing it for whoever the fuck. We're going to send it out to them in 2 weeks. They're going to deliver it. Once they get it, we charge them. Whatever. You know, be very specific. My problem with all of that is, again, it's a bunch of little different things. And in terms of the founders, the people that are on this phone, I don't think all of us really have a hand in that direction. I know you do. Yeah, 100%.
Well, Chris, do what you do best, man. Like, just like Tom said, like, come up with an idea and say, hey, I'm going to take ownership of this thing. When I said before, I can develop technology.
All right, whoa, all right, hold on. Let me stop.
Wait a minute. Jonathan will tell you from.
Let me stop you. Let me stop you right there.
Chris,
listen.
Chris, this is a request I'm asking from you. Jonathan will tell you right now. Is Snugs good with numbers? Hell no. That's the reason why one of the reasons Jonathan's around.
Snugs,
so when
stop,
you say
Snugs, stop. What you are asking me for is you are asking me, right, a fucking super tanker. It's not even super tanker. A tugboat that's in the middle of the water that's already moving. It's already got a destination. You're asking me to step up and grab the wheel.
I'm not asking you to do that. I'm asking you for contributions with something that you're good at already.
Again, I don't know where the fuck we're going, man.
Chris,
I don't know where we're going.
Chris, you work every day with Chris. You work every day in finance. When you say things like, how much money are we going to get from a Sneaker Shouts, help me with a percentage point.
Hang on. Let me do that right now. Let me do that right now. Can I jump in here, guys? I'm going to say that Sneaker Shouts does $5 million a year in shoes, which I don't think there's any chance they sell that many shoes, okay? And then if we go 6% of that, that's $300,000. If we cut that in half, that's $150,000. If we pay everything off and split it X amount of ways, that's not something that's worth my time to pursue. Unless we have like 50 Sneaker Shouts.
So what is something that's worth your time to pursue, boys? Why don't you scale that up, homeboy?
I mean, I'm really not trying to be an asshole here. I don't have a fucking genius sneaker 6-figure website idea. You know what I mean?
So what if Sneaker Shouts was a test run? We're successful with Sneaker Shouts, and then we go and we make an offering to all of the people who are affiliate marketers. What if it was times 10? What if it was 1.5 million?
Can we scale this out to other industries?
Yes, that's absolutely.
If we can get
sneakers are just a vertical.
If we can get out of the vertical, then yeah, that could be a moneymaker.
There you go. Sneakers is just a vertical.
But I need, like, if you want me to buy in, right? I need to see data. I need to see what we're giving him, what he's making, what we're getting back, and then I can do like a projection on how that's going to scale. You know what I mean? But until like does Ivan have a fucking like 50,000 fucking square foot house on a cliff in Malibu? Like why am I You know what I mean? Like, what does he have that a piece of it is going to be so amazing to me? Like, I was doing homework. I did a little homework on my own to try to figure out how much money is in this blog affiliate bullshit, right? And so you guys know Uncrate.com?
No, what is that, Boise?
Uncrate.com, it's a website. They just showcase products, right? Hey, this new shoe's coming out. Hey, this new car's coming out. Hey, this new bullshit is coming out, right? They have affiliate links and they do sponsored ads. It's literally, if they put something up, go check it out. They have an app, they have everything, right? And they do about 6 million a year. They did 6 million there. They did 6 million. No. Shit, I got my numbers wrong. They made a fuck ton of money. It could be 6 million a month.
Did they make enough for Borzy to be like, okay, this makes my dick hard?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
It does. But I feel like that's our plan. But I feel like that's not going to be just sneakers, right? Like, otherwise we're basically doing the exact same thing. You know what I mean? I feel like sneakers on its own doesn't get us there.
Just so we're clear, if you were to say one thing, what is the change that would happen in 2016? We'd be out of the sneaker industry because we would be exhausting past the prediction that Chris made, which is why he's extremely fucking valuable. I call him the oracle of the group to people outside of the group, is that he said 12 months ago, you got 18 to 24 months. So what that means is before the end of this year, we need to be out of sneakers more than likely. We can still be helping the sneaker industry, but that shit ain't going to pay a mortgage.
So, Rashawn, can you put together, or Cage, can someone put together, let's make this the homework for next week. Can we see numbers of how, and like a flow chart or explanation of how this system could work?
Well, wait, I'm going to cut you off here. So does that mean that that if that happens, Borzy, you're going to be around next week?
That I'm what?
If that happens and you get those things, is Borzy going to be around next week?
I don't understand the question. Like, I'm going to be excited enough to be back?
Well, because I'll just be 100% honest, man. I was 50-50 on whether or not Borzy was going to continue on with this whole idea today.
Well, dude,
will be on the call next week.
I'll be honest. I was 50-50 on whether you guys would want me back next week. You know what I mean? Like, if we can get in alignment, I said the same thing every time. I said if we can get in alignment on something, get a plan that we all like and can get behind, I'm in. If not, if everyone wants to do something and I don't want to be a part of it, I got no problem walking away and not taking anything with me. Well, I've said that every time.
I'll just put the fucking stick right here. Chris brought up something that we should address, just like Tom said. Bring it up, address it, move forward. Borzy, I just want to throw out there, and these are just words. You speak with actions, but, I love you to death, man. You're a fucking brother to me. We may seem to the outside world like we have the most differences, but you're a person that's been a staple in my life for fucking decades. Chris maybe 1 decade longer than you, but fucking decades. And no matter what I can do to help make your stay pleasant here, if I'm the concierge at a hotel, if you will, then I'll do it to the best of my ability. And if I'm being fucking hard-headed, just grab me by the goddamn ears and say, dude, you're being freaking hard-headed, man. But I'd love
I mean, I kind of feel the same way. I feel like if I'm the problem, I got no problem not being the problem. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So that's excellent. That makes me happy. So continue on. I just wanted to make that statement out there, make it fucking clear that Borzy and I have zero issues with one
another. Hang on. I don't know. I need to see I need to see what the data we're pulling is, right? Because sneaker releases, restocks, shit like that doesn't transfer to other verticals. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
interesting. Do you know? Can you name one thing that you feel would, or still? Hey, what about this thing?
I mean, if we're modeling it after
that doesn't transfer to other verticals. Like my mom always says, a lot of people use can't, don't, won't, CAN, cancel all negativity. So what do you feel does? And then let's go for it. Let's go after it.
Well, I mean, at this point, are we just talking about a blog with affiliate links?
A blog with affiliate links. See, to me, that feels to 2009, 2011. It's got to be pushed out to the people who actually kind of want it. Like a blog would be something that I'd have to go and consume myself.
And so, how do you see?
Yeah.
How do you see yourself pushing that out?
Unless it's Uh,
Like an app?
well, that's the implementation detail. It really that would be like a Sakinya thing where it'd be like this information or this value is best served as an iPhone app or a web app or maybe even a fucking email. Like I know a company right now called Drip. They just specialize in cadence of sending out Drip email marketing, and they just got funded for $15 million. All these guys do is send timed emails out. That's it.
Okay,
So what's the
how
implementation?
about
Yeah.
how about I change it a little bit? How about if how about if I ask for a like written, tangible description of whatever technology advantages we think we have and the ability to implement?
Excellent. And then you all can help out with the, hey, this is nice to have, but it's not a must-have, and anything that's a nice to have, we just scrap out. Because if it's a nice to have, then that's what the nice to haves I feel are what's going to distract us.
Yeah, Chris, you got anything?
No.
Chris, you still want to be my friend, man?
Yeah, hey, listen, man. I mean, hey, listen, there's always a difference between friends and business. I mean, we'll all be friends, always, and that ain't ever going to change. I mean, business is a whole different thing,
Absolutely.
Business is a whole different animal,
Chris, how do you feel? Are you still down for the cause?
Listen, again, I just like I said 2 weeks ago, what started this whole goddamn shit to begin with, said it last week. I'm going to end this call and say it again this week. We still don't have a plan, man. We still have a vision. Again, and you're a guy and you're a guy driving a boat in the middle of the ocean, and sometimes you got to take the boat back to the dock to figure out where the fuck you're going, not just keep making lefts and rights and lefts and rights and lefts and rights, because you're gonna find yourself just going in circles.
So, Chris, what
What?
is a vision then? I mean,
That's the problem. No one's got one.
I definitely can't.
No one
I definitely can't
has
sit here
one.
and say that. Well, hold on, guys. What if your balls were in a fucking vice? 4 grown-ass men on here. We can't come up with one thing?
No, we can't, because again, what you need to understand is that again, there's friends and there's business. This is business. You have 4 individuals that have their own personalities, their own ideas, their own thoughts, right? And then they have you're kind of already out there, already doing it. You understand? It's not like we're building something from scratch here. So what you need is you're going to have either one or two things that's going to happen. You either need to have 4 people or 5 people or however many fucking founders you have present ideas and everybody vote on which way they want to go, or you're going to have one person just grab the fucking bull by the horns and say, this is what we're doing. You can't really have any other. So, like, you're trying to dance down the line and be nicey nice and all this bullshit. And it's like, you can't really do that, dude. Either everybody decide this is what we want to do, right, based on the plans that we have, or, just one guy just says, fuck you, this is what we're going to do. And that's it.
Well, Chris, maybe this helps with the transparency. One of the things that, and it's probably, I apologize with it if it wasn't put out there, but ever since day one, Zach and Evan have been considered decision makers. And what does that mean? A lot of people say when you have a startup, it's wild if you have more than, say, like 6 founders. What I've learned actually is it's nothing wrong with having a ton of founders in a startup. Don't have too many decision makers. Part of the decision making process was supposed to be myself, Evan, and Zach, and that was only predicated on the fact that those were the people, like even Zach himself, those were the people who were like, nah, man, just fucking do it. Let's just try something out. Now that said, it's almost like a scholarship with my scholarship with football. It's like I can get the scholarship, but I can get it snatched from me if I don't show and prove. What I do know is that Chris and you, Borzu, have continuously been around and continuously been on the call. I mean, it's just something that I would discuss with Zach and Evan. Why don't you guys be the decision makers? And what that means is you just get a double slice of the pie. And I think that with them not being around, when a lot of things had to go down in 2015, and I swear to God, like I'll keep 2015 buried because now it's me talking about it all the time. I didn't feel like I had support there, so then I was forced to bring myself out of technology, make rash decisions, and put myself back into the technology. That is something that, quite possibly could have been detrimental, but we're still here on the line. So maybe it's that you guys take over.
I got it, man. I got it. But again, just like you 2 weeks ago with this whole, you never even started SneakyHead. This is the first that I'm hearing that I'm a founder but not a decision maker. this is the first that I'm hearing about that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Okay, well then.
I thought it was a decision maker. I guess I just. Borzu, did you know that?
No,
did you realize you're not a decision maker?
I
was
never.
For a second.
Yeah, I was not aware.
Hold on. Let's be clear here. Maybe I'll rephrase that. A tiebreaker, because number one, we have an even amount of people, and the person when we talked about our business advisor, when I went and spoke with him, they said the worst thing that can happen is to have an even amount of decision makers.
Like I said, man, I didn't realize that I wasn't a decision maker. So I don't know, man. Again, whatever you guys decide, I guess I'm good with.
Well, wait a minute. Let's be clear here. Nobody said that you. Well, I guess maybe that wasn't an apt thing to say. You're not a decision maker, because everyone who was one of the founders, their freaking opinion is valuable.
Yeah, but opinion being valuable and decision making.
But if it should. Yeah, but then what do we do in situations like this, Chris? The whole point is that if something comes up where we're at a conflict or can't make a decision on something, there should be people that can grab the helms and say, "Here's what we're going to do."
No, you talk it out. I mean, if we all have equal partnership in the business, we talk it out. We talk it out, but that's where a CEO comes in. So whoever sits in the middle, that's the guy that ultimately makes the decision, and that's what we all do.
So listen, guys, I think so. One of since we're sharing advice from mentors, one of my favorite pieces of advice that I've gotten is that you are more likely to drown in too much opportunity than you are to starve from lack of opportunity. So I think what is our primary focus should be to identify our opportunity and decide if it's worth pursuing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm willing to put the time in to identify the opportunity. If you guys, Cage, if you can get me what kind of information we have access to and help me put together some kind of plan for it, you know what I mean? Or not even help me put together some kind of plan for it. Let me know what our plan is to sell it. Like if we're taking cuts of affiliates or if we're going to sell the data to somewhere else. I have every kind of possible contact from people that own big data companies and analyze that kind of data to investment bankers to whatever the fuck else is out there. If you give me an idea of what we have out there and tell me what is unique about it, right? Like, so there's nothing that stops anyone from starting an affiliate thing, right? Like, what are we best in the world at? You know what I mean? Then I will try to put together a fucking business around it. You know what I mean? And if that's not something we have, then maybe it's just not something we have, you know?
That's true. I agree. Okay, well, there's a request. That's an official request. I just want to be clear, too, about the whole decision-making things.
Snugs, your connection, bro, your connection is the worst.
Hello?
Your connection is the worst.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you now.
Because I'm walking in, the microphone was just brushing up, was underneath my collar.
Mm-hmm.
Really, with the whole decision-maker thing, it's the fact that, so Zach graduated college. He didn't have a job at the time, and Evan claimed that he had a bunch of more time. Acting at you, Chris, or you, Borzu, I just made an assumption that, I don't want to really dig too much into these guys' time because they got family, kids, they have run their own businesses, and they fucking work their damn asses off. Maybe that was the wild assumption to me, and I just want to on a record say I apologize for that.
All right. You guys still here?
Yeah. Anything else, guys?
All right. Let's call it.
Chris, are you good?
All right. Wait. Before we get off the call. Okay, so I guess we're gonna like gather up the information, whatever. Figure out what type of tools that we have to go forth with our plan and vision. And
So
then
like when I say tools, like I know that we have developers, I know that we have potential funding sources, right? Like not stuff that anyone can get, right? Like what does the API do that is unique? What is the data set that we have that is unique? What access that we have do we have that is unique? What what how do we leverage Snugs, what's the name of the thing you have that gives us all the IP addresses? The membership. Illuminati. How do we leverage Illuminati? Like what are the things that we have that,
Illuminati.
yeah,
whatever.
Messing with the game.
Illuminati.
Illuminati.
We're not that deep in the game yet. We don't have.
See, I thought we were all the way in there.
Yeah.
Like what are you know what I mean? Let me know. I can't think of a less asshole way to say this, right? But what do we have to offer that would stop like anyone from just going and doing this on their own? Like what do we have that's going to stop Robert from going?
What's our unfair advantage? When we did the
that Robert can't go do by himself, that Evan can't go do by himself, that I can't go do by myself. You know what I mean?
Well, what do you mean by? I mean, technically, we all should be. What do you mean by go do by yourself? Maybe elaborate on that.
Well, I don't mean that specifically, but like, or that Ivan can't go do by himself. You know what I mean? What is our unique advantage that like no one else can do? You know what I mean?
Well, then that's really why I was predicating on technology, because if we look at some solid examples, like say your DJ Dells or your sneaker shops or whatever, they have all attested that hey, like any business needs technology in this day and age, and we don't know how to do it to get the information that's going to save us time. That's the only thing I've extrapolated from our interactions with them.
Okay.
So like, Ivan, like one thing, he spends hours a week just going over to Nike, copy pasta some images, throwing it in something. The entire process is starting to become completely automated for him. We can save, I don't know how much is saving 10 hours a week to Ivan, or 15 hours a week to an Ivan.
And so another thing, just for like, if we're providing Ivan the service, we should have numbers that he's earning and like how much we're earning out of that too, right? Or is that not happening yet?
Yeah, not happening yet, but that is exactly, if we had to pick a direction to go in, it would be in that, in regards to an API, or else we're kidding ourselves. We don't have any metrics. Orzu?
All right.
Yeah. All right. Send me shit.
Okay.
Send me a lot of shit.
All right. So the plan is to have the fine information on what we got to utilize it for our plan and vision, and then next week, whatever when Rashawn sends me, or whoever, I'll talk to Noel, Lizzie, whatever, gives me the information, I'll relay that to you, Chris as well. I don't know, Chris, what do you need from me?
Nothing really. I'm just kind of watching from the background, I guess.
Well, Chris, okay. What is there anything you need from the foreground? Like, what do you need to unblock you from being in the background?
There's again, listen.
He needs a plan.
Yeah, I told you 2 weeks ago. I don't know what the fuck you guys are doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what. Well,
you guys are doing. Already, I just want to point out there from my psychology studies. The minute, if you're in a relationship with someone, we definitely have a relationship here, whether it's intimate, your wife, your best friend. The minute that you start saying you and I instead of we, there's already an invisible barrier starting to set up to separate. So how can we turn that you guys into we for real?
Just like I said 2 weeks ago, I tried to create a we. You are already moving, my friend. You're already moving in a certain direction. You understand? It's now our job to try to move in your direction with you. If that makes any sense.
Do you think that's right for the whole for what we're doing here?
Of course not. Which is why the fuck you think I wasted 3 weeks of my life on these calls and try to straighten this shit out? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? I mean, that was the whole point of this. Like, I'm trying.
Wait a minute here. Hold on. Let's back up to 4 here. I put out the plan. In this call, every seems to be attempting to do that. What I haven't heard, and maybe this is where I'm unclear, what I have heard is how my plan is right, where it's wrong, where I haven't heard is other people's plans. Now,
Dude, you're breaking up too
listen.
much. Yeah, we can't even hear you.
If you want to have this call, you got to do it from a landline, dude. Because
what was requested then didn't happen. Then Chris, would you say? Because isn't that what was requested?
What are you talking about? Because your phone's going in there.
From everybody. From everybody.
I mean, dude, I don't know. I mean, again, there's only 4 of us on this call. I gave you my plan last week. I mean, I made it as big as possible. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hear what your plan is. Borzo's plan is pretty much the same. We don't have all the founders on the call. We haven't really figured out structure-wise where we're going. So we just kind of reverted back. We basically what we did was we reverted back to exactly what we were doing. That's it. So the past 3 weeks was fucking useless because we just reverted back to exactly what the fuck we were doing. So where we need to fucking start is have all the fucking founders on the call, and then whoever's not a founder or I guess a decision maker or whatever the fuck, you know, so we can make a decision as to where we are going. You know what I'm saying? Like it defeats the purpose of having an organizational call if only us 4 are going to be on the call. Fucking defeats the purpose.
There you go. See that's low hanging fruit that we can at least make people be accountable for.
Okay, but who's doing that?
So then what do we? So what do we say? How about then? What do you feel? What do you feel, Chris? What do you feel, Borzu? What do you feel, Jonathan?
All
when
right, so let me give you
on the call there.
Can I give you guys some insight? Let me give you some personal experience on this. Hang on. So I'm in a entrepreneurs organization called the Entrepreneurs Organization, right? It's a global network of entrepreneurs. I'm in the EODC chapter, right? And it's only for you have to be a business owner with over $1 million a year in revenue, right? So like even if I had a $100 million company, I could not I couldn't have my VP join the group, right? You have to be the founder and or own more than 51% of the company to join. Okay, and I have monthly meetings with what's called my forum, right? Like my 8 guys that I meet with every month, and it's basically like experience share, problems we're having, we'll help each other out, right? Shit like that, education, how to run a business, whatever. We have a constitution for our forum, and our rules are our meetings start on time. For every minute you're late, you have to give $10 into our like group fund for when we have dinners and fucking go on retreats and shit like that, right?
We'll be rich as fuck.
If you're more than 10 minutes late, you can't come into the meeting anymore, and it counts as an absence. Okay? If you miss 2 meetings in a year, you're kicked out.
There you go.
Chris, what do you think about that?
That's what we actually do in the entrepreneur group that I'm in.
So that's what they do, Borzu.
I'm just giving it as an example. I know that's a little extreme for us.
Hold on for a second. That's what they do, and that's what I'm asking. I've been in this situation before. I tried to implement something someone else did, and it doesn't work. What is comfortable for us? If you say, like, I think this would be kind of cool, and let's propose it.
He just said it. He just said it, man. Stop dancing.
Okay, so
you're talking
in
circles.
Dancing it. Wait a minute, Chris. Then implement what they have. So I'm hearing boards you say, well, I don't know if that's for us or that's a little bit ours.
I think the point that he's trying to make is that people will give a shit about the meeting if there's action if they're not present.
So are those stipulations right for us, Chris? Do you feel like?
Well, again, we've been on the fucking phone for an hour and a half and we're not getting anywhere because there's founders within the group that are not here. So I don't want to speak for people that are not here. You know what I'm saying? I can speak for myself. Borzo's speaking for himself.
So
Jonathan,
what does Chris Brown feel?
Well, hold on. Let me ask you. Hold on. Hey, hold on, guys. So this is kind of part of the why we never get anywhere thing. Didn't we say like 2 weeks ago that if someone's not on the fucking call, they're out? That we're gonna reach out to everyone and be like, if you're not on the call, you're out.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
We
Like we've
absolutely
had
did
this
that.
conversation already. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like and I'm totally down with shit coming up because I have life things come up. You know what I mean? I couldn't commit to missing 2 calls in a year and I'm out with this group, right? But Cage, did we reach out to everyone who's never on the calls and be like, where the fuck you at?
I do that every week.
I know
But,
I
I mean, do you
did.
get responses? Do you get responses?
I didn't get any response. Well, you know what? Let's just put it back in the founders room, and just like let's have like a definite like, okay, if you're not on the call, like get the fuck out, pretty much.
Well, and just to like defend why I'm an asshole all the time. I've spent hours like talking to Robert, like sizing him up and trying to keep him excited about this. You know what I mean? Because when there's no progress, like apathy breeds. You know. And I was the one that was like, yo, I need a mission for these calls. Like when we're doing a call, I need like an agenda to know what we're doing the call for. You know what I mean? To make me get on and be involved in it. And this is why I fucking like try to shove things to make them happen faster. Cause you know, when things don't progress at a fast enough pace, then people feel like why do they have to be on the call? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly.
And it slides into just apathy all the way around. But I'm hoping if Cage gets me this information, right, I can put something together with it to fucking get everyone excited again. And if we do, I mean, foot on the gas, fucking throat down the fist, like, let's barrel up with it.
Thank you, Blizzard.
I'm making up my own expressions, I know. But
All right, guys. I think we've like talked enough at this point. So we've already got down what we need to do for next week. I'll gather the information up. Whatever, like have it to you before Monday, so you can just like figure it out. And we'll
do you want to
go.
just put it in the founders thing so everyone can see it?
Yeah. I'm gonna post this video up as well, and I'll make sure like everybody studies it. And then afterwards, let's just go on from here, and then just like let's make it like our goal to like at least have something like by next week. You know, like we're not falling back, or we're just not like we're going forth, obviously, but let's just get things done and just keep going, pretty much.
Awesome. If you can pin that, Jonathan, that'd be great. Because some people don't know how to use Slack properly. If you pin it, it'll just stay on the most recent messages.
All right, guys.
All
We
right.
all good?
Yeah, it's been
All
real.
right, guys.
All right, peace.
Peace.